Well, how in the world are you? Pastor Ed here for another devotion. We are still talking about stewardship as an adventure. And today the word more, or more stuff, or treasures in heaven. So we've been on the line of thought that stewardship's an adventure, and we said it has to be since Jesus speaks about money more than any other subject, and his life is a journey of adventure and grace. What stewardship is it's not a matter of what we earn or what we have left over. Stewardship's about living out the real priorities in our life. Stewardship's about the connection between our wallet and our heart. Stewardship's about our character and the reward that we get as generous givers. Stewardship's about cultivating a heart like God. And stewardship, it's essential if we're going to follow Jesus. So here's a powerful word, more. It's powerful not only in meaning, but in the thoughts and the wants of people. Our society, our culture, maybe your friends, maybe you're bombarded by this whole business of I need more. Buy me, wear me, test drive me. If not happy, just return with your receipt. So in this context, more is a word of desire and dissatisfaction. Desire for trivial things, dissatisfaction with trivial things. But more will never satisfy our soul, and more will easily get in the way of God and our neighbor. For some people, saying no to more is absolutely frightening. So Jesus framed the problem of more this way in Matthew 6, verse 24. No one can serve two masters, for he'll either hate the one and love the other, or he'll be devoted to the one and despise the other. But you cannot serve God and money. There's no room in our heart for two masters. So what is the answer for the throne of money? What is the answer for the false god of money and more stuff? And in one word, in stewardship, it's tithing. Leviticus 27:30. Every tithe of the land, whether the seed of the land or the fruit of the trees, belongs to God. They're all holy to God. And so linked to the tithe is a principle of first fruits. Proverbs 3:9. Honor the Lord with your wealth, with the first fruits of all your crops. Tithing sets a floor amount of 10%, and then first fruits expresses a spiritual principle that God's the giver, the owner, and the Lord of the harvest. We're just giving back to him what's his. And Romans 8:29 even ties the first fruits principle back to Adam and Jesus. There Paul writes, for those whom he foreknew, God he also predestined to be conformed to the image of his Son, in order that he might be the firstborn, Jesus, among many brothers, you and me. So the basis then for tithing and first fruits is simple. God deserves our best. He deserves what comes first and not our leftovers. So back to the blessing of tithing. Tithing keeps God on the throne, not me or my money. Tithing gives back to what belongs to God. Tithing says, I trust my God. Tithing's a ministry of thanksgiving to God for all his gifts, and it's a consistent barometer of our inner spiritual condition that tie between the wallet and the heart. We can see in the Holy Bible in Israel two sides of the coin, where sometimes Israel or the church, when their hearts are turned to God, free will offerings pour in that exceed the tithe. And then again, Israel can show us when our hearts are not turned to God, but full of ingratitude and complaint and adultery, there our hands turn away from God and His tithe. And so, again, as giving goes, so is the heart. What about the argument some people would make that tithing's an Old Testament concept that could be discarded? Well, I'll answer that maybe and no. It depends on the context. Jesus says flat out no in Matthew 5:17. Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I've not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them. And if you like, the answer may be, so there you have to read the New Testament as asking not for the tithe, the 10%, but our whole being. Everything is our stewardship. All the resources belong to God. So our earlier devotions, we talked about this whole idea of open hands. And so we've had the heart, the wallet, connection to the heart. Now, from the heart to our open hands. And we see that open hands concept in Acts chapter 4. Now, the full number of those who believed were of one heart and soul, and no one said that any of the things that belonged to him were his own. They had everything in common. And with great power, the apostles gave testimony to the resurrection, and great grace was upon them all. There was not a needy person among them, for as many as were owners of lands or houses sold them and brought the proceeds of what was sold. So I'm going to close today with an opportunity that's spelled out in Malachi 3, verse 10. Bring the full tithe into the storehouse, that there may be food in my house. Put me to the test, says the Lord of hosts. See if I will not open the windows of heaven for you and pour down for you a blessing until there's no more need. Will you tithe according to Malachi and test God? God promises to bless you now and with treasures in heaven, with open hands and a heart that loves the Lord. You cannot ask for more anymore if you do that. Till we meet again, pray for one another. Be a blessing. God bless you all. Pastor Ed.